Hello, my friend. I'm Kelsey, and I'd like to welcome you to my home. Today, we're slowing down and settling into the quiet wonder of the season. Christmas is upon us, and the house is just waiting to be adorned in its seasonal attire. We are getting crafty today, embracing a lived-in look. I want warm, cozy, and full of old-fashioned charm. So grab a warm drink to sip, settle in, and come along as I decorate for a very cozy cottage Christmas. Of course, the first thing on today's agenda is cutting down our Christmas tree. This is something we do with our kids every year, and I have been doing this every year prior to having kids, either with Matt or with my own family growing up for as long as I can remember. Say hi.
What?
Say hi.
Hi. My weapon of choice today.
I only planned on taking the tree home and putting it in its base that day. I wanted to wait until the following day to decorate, and what a wonderful surprise we woke up to. Our first major snowfall of the season. We had 5 inches, and the kids had a blast. While the kids played outside, they were out there for a good 3 or 4 hours. I was busy inside, set right to trimming the tree. Now, I'm just curious, you can let me know in the comments, but what type of lights do you prefer? Do you like the bright LEDs or kind of the old-fashioned warm white, or do you like the colored lights? I like the colored lights. I'm going with the warm white this year, and these little clip-on candles, which I love. They were a great investment last year. I think I got 2 dozen of them. They just take a AAA battery, lasted all season, and then I just popped them out to store, put the same batteries back in this year, and they're still good. I love that they're on like a little swivel. I don't know if that's what it's called, but you can move the candlestick around so that it stands straight. We're going to leave the tree as is for now because I have some DIY ornaments we're going to make. We're going to move on to the mantle. Now, like I said earlier, I am just going for a warm, inviting, lived-in look, very cottage style, very collected. And I just wanted to use things that I use all the time. I wanted it to be rich and colorful, so I just have a bunch of different books. I'm going with reds and greens, some blue and pink in there as well. I pulled out 2 of my favorite plates. I just stuck some thumbtacks into my wooden mantle to get them to stand there. I have some ironstone white pitchers, some hydrangea dried from the garden, and this sweet little sheep. Tied a little bow on him, make him a little bit more festive. I have had this little church building, goodness, at least 14, 15 years. I got it from Michael's way back, and it's one of the only things I have held on to over the years that's actually Christmas themed. I love using nature, so I grabbed some pine cones, stuck them in a copper little bucket there, and I found one of my teacups in blue to kind of just balance out the mantle. I like pops of color to be balanced and not just have it in one spot. And then to finish it off, some white bottle brush trees that are actually from Matt's grandma, just to fill in the empty spots. There is a purchase I make each year for Christmas decorating, and that is some Real Touch garlands. I will either look for really good sales before the holidays, or I will shop after the holidays when everything goes on clearance. And I buy 1 or 2 each year just to add to my collection. In our very dry, hot home, we have coal heat. Fresh greenery does not last more than a week or 2 before I'm left with bare twigs and constantly cleaning up needles. So this just makes sense for me. And I got these 70% off, so they were quite affordable. And I picked up 2 of them, so now I have 6 Real Touch garlands to add around the home. And these came with these super sweet little fairy lights in them. And I just love it. It looks so realistic, and it just adds so much charm to the house for Christmas. Now I wanted to finish off the mantle with a garland, and I was so happy to see that the chain garlands were trending this year. I've always loved a good chain garland, whether that be with paper or ribbon. There's something very nostalgic and warm and inviting about it. It reminds me of Little Women, which is one of my favorite books and movies, the older version of the movie, and I'm very happy to bring that into my home this Christmas season. So I grabbed a bunch of different ribbons. I already had some. Whenever I see sales, I will buy some, but I did find a few of these at Hobby Lobby when they were running a really good sale. And I cut them in 9-inch strips, got my hot glue gun out, and you know how it works. Just weave one in through the other. Another great place to find ribbon is at the thrift or Goodwill. Occasionally I can find some good ones there. Now, to me, it's not Christmas without having some sort of dried oranges or citrus. This year, I am doing some oranges for the tree, but I'm also going to make a garland, and I wanted to use different types of citrus. I wanted some grapefruit and lemon and lime, just for a bit of a brighter look to it and some contrasting colors. So I just slice these as thin as I possibly can, and I make sure they are all the same thickness so that they dry at the same rate. I put them in at my oven's lowest setting. For me, that is 200 degrees. I let them go for about 1.5 to 2 hours, and then I will check on them. Every 20 minutes, I set an alarm because very quickly they can go brown. So every 20 minutes, I check them. Sometimes I'll flip them, and they'll be done when they are no longer sticky. I'm digging how this is turning out. I love when I have a vision for something and it actually comes forth the way that I hoped it would. It is just saying inviting and cozy and lived in with some rich color. I'm really, really loving it. I do have some ribbon coming in the mail, hopefully today. With the snow, we'll see if it gets here or not, but I'm thinking either some long-tailed bows, maybe it's velvet ribbon, or I have some patterned gingham ribbon, maybe for a central bow. I don't know, we're gonna try a few different things, see if we like it, or it might just stay like this. It's time to trim the tree. I'm not totally sure what I'm going for here, but I'm just working with what I got. So I have all of this red beaded garland I got from Walmart last year on clearance. It was originally $2.48 for a 9-foot garland. Whoops. And I wanna say I got it for like $1, something like that each. I have a few of these. We're gonna see how far it goes and if I like it. How does one want to do this? Now for some more crafting. We're gonna make some ornaments. I wanted to make some like Victorian snowflake fan stars, whatever you want to call them. So I found this on Amazon. It is a bunch of the works of William Morris, a bunch of those patterns, and I thought they were really beautiful going with my theme. Looked very cottagey. So I took out some of those pages and I cut them in half, and then of course we do an accordion style fold. Take some ribbon or string, tie a knot across the center, and then I cut like a little triangle out to make a tail at each end. But you can make any shape you want. You could just make them pointed. And then we're going to take some hot glue, fold those two sides together, allow that to dry, and then flip it over to the other side and do the same thing. Glue those two sides together. To finish off the tree, I'm going to add some very long-tailed bows. I have some gingham and I have some kind of like a dusty blue velvet. I'm not actually tying them or attaching them to the branches because I didn't have anything else to attach them with, and I didn't want to tie them around the branch because then they're not so fun to remove once the tree starts to dry out. So they're just hanging on there for dear life. Hopefully they hold up to my children. The tree needed something else, so I decided to add some of my very vintage glass ornaments. Some of these I found while antiquing, and I have been collecting over the years, but the majority of them I actually got from Matt's grandma as well. When she passed, I was allowed to pick some things out of her belongings, and I loved her ornaments, and Matt loves seeing them on the tree. It reminds him very much of his grandmother and his childhood. Now, can one have too many bows? I think not. So we're going to add some more to the mantle in the same colors as I used on the tree. I did a double bow here, and I quite like it. Of course, we need the stockings. I think I have said in every Christmas video I have done that I have been meaning to make some stockings out of some sort of vintage textile, like an old quilt or something. And here I am, having not done that. Again, I have many dreams and aspirations, but my list is quite long and the time I have is quite short. I need to start preparations for Christmas and all of my projects that I'd like to do probably in July. We'll see if it happens next year. I decided to add a nice big basket of blankets for a cozy touch. We like to do family movie nights and we each need our own blanket. So nice, easy grabbing there for a blanket. We're gonna put up a garland again over here on the wall, and I wanted to do some citrus here with that garland. I decided to just use a hot glue gun and some string. I didn't feel like threading each one through and tying them off. It was a shortcut, probably not gonna hold up the greatest, and I burned my fingers quite a bit, but it will suffice for this year. very simple and easy way to bring some Christmas charm into the space is with pillows and blankets. And they don't have to necessarily be Christmas themed. I just chose some with, I guess, more festive colors. I like to keep a bunch of covers on hand. I have a whole stack of them, much easier to store than actual pillows. And I'm always looking for a good deal. So all throughout the year, if I see something on a flash deal, I will grab it. If I see something thrifting, I will grab it. Same thing goes for blankets. Okay, I will take you on a tour of the finished space in just a moment, but if you still need a gift idea for someone, I thought I would share what I am doing for some people in my life. This is more for a lady, but it's very simple, quick, and lovely. I picked up a whole bunch of these farmhouse teas, the trial size bags, so many lovely festive flavors here, so I'm giving these along with some biodegradable tea bags for them to brew their tea in. These are so nice because you can just take the whole thing and throw it right into the compost pile. I've taken the tea bags and tied a ribbon around it just for a festive touch, and I'm also going to put in some dried oranges and cinnamon sticks, again for a festive touch, but they could also use them in a simmer pot. I'm going to put these items in a festive mug. Like I said, I'm always looking for a deal, and on Black Friday, I found these mugs. It was a 2-pack for, I believe, $5. So I thought that was a pretty good deal. Of course, you can always thrift them, go to your Goodwill, and see what they have. Now, if you're interested in some of the farmhouse tea, I do have a discount code for you. I'll put it here on the screen, and I'll put a link in the description. It would be a lovely gift, a lovely stocking stuffer, and it should still get here in time for Christmas if you order ASAP. Same goes for Antique Candle Co. I think the last day to order in time for a Christmas arrival would be the 15th. I have a whole bunch of these candles I'm going to give along with the mug and the tea. I will be sure to put the links for these items down in the description, as well as my discount codes to save you all some money. Now, I know many of you either have children or grandchildren, or maybe you'd even want to make this for yourself, but I thought for the kids, let's make them a little treat for after they come in from playing in the cold. They love their hot chocolate, and I will show you how I make my hot chocolate concentrate here in just a moment, but we're going to make something to garnish the hot chocolate with. I whipped up some heavy cream with a little bit of granulated sugar and some vanilla. Put it into a piping bag. I have a star tip on here, and we're just going to make some little snowmen. I'm going to use some mini chocolate chips for the buttons, the smile, and the eyes, and I used an orange Reese's Pieces for the nose. A little rustic looking, but my kids loved them. These just get put into the freezer so they all kind of solidify together, and you can pop them into some hot chocolate. Now, I have shared this before, but I know there's always new people coming in, and this is seriously delicious. It's so much better than the hot chocolate packets you can get from the store. Very quick and easy to throw together, and you just store it in the fridge. So in a quart-size mason jar, I am putting in 1 cup of organic. You can use cacao or cocoa powder. I'm gonna do 2 cups of maple syrup. You can do any 1-to-2 ratio there, 1 part cocoa to 2 parts syrup. And you want to use the real maple syrup. Don't use like the fake sugary table syrup. You're gonna stir those 2 things together. It does take a little bit for it to incorporate well, but it will come together. Trust the process. I'm gonna add about a teaspoon of homemade vanilla extract. I will link the video here on the screen for how I make that. It is so good and it saves a whole lot of money if you make it yourself. I'm also going to throw in a pinch of salt and give it a stir. That's all you have to do. Pop a lid on it, stick it in the fridge. It stays good in there for a good long while. I heated up some milk. I have never tried this with water. I don't think that would work. Don't try that. You definitely need some sort of milk. I like to add 1 to 2 tablespoons into about 12 ounces of milk. You can add to your heart's desire though, however chocolatey you like it, but it is rich and velvety and lovely, and my kids always gobble this up. The kids thoroughly enjoyed their melting Frosty the Snowmans. They were a total hit, and I think they're going to require them from now on. Some final touches to the space. I used my paper bag snowflakes we made together from last year. I saved them. I love how the sunlight glows through them. If you want to know how to make them, I will link the video here on the screen and down in the description. Of course, more bows wherever I can. Now here's what it looks like in the daytime. Absolutely beautiful. I love it, but it does not compare to the glow of the light at night. A gentle reminder, sweet friend. Although beautifully decorated homes and gifts and Christmas festivities and activities are all lovely things, let's remember the real reason for this season. Jesus. May we keep him at the center of it all. Without him, it's all for naught. May we reflect on his gift to us, have hearts full of gratitude, joy, love, hope, and peace. May they be full to overflowing so that we can share with the world around us. May you feel his presence and be blessed, dear friend. But when the kindness and love of God our Savior appeared, he saved us, not because of righteous things we had done, but because of his mercy.